All right, traders, a very warm welcome to the episode 8 of TFA Talks. So today, Himalay Bhatia and myself, Devang Mehra, will tell you about what is the outlook for the markets going forward in the fourth week of October. So hi Himalay, how are you doing?
I'm good, Devang. How are you doing?
Right, good to hear from you. So let's get started without further ado. So last week we saw a very volatile trade. We went to the 6 7 month high on Nifty and Bank Nifty, which was around 12,025 levels. And on Thursday, when we got the news from be covered by BBC that there were social distancing curbs levied in France and UK, the markets actually globally took it very negatively, and we saw a very big fall in Nifty and Bank Nifty, which equated to a 300-point fall in Nifty and 1100 point in Bank Nifty. So, what are your views regarding what happened last week?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think the market did factor in the negative news that had come into the economy,
right.
and Nifty also very well reacted to it. And we saw the market move near 11,650, which was already mentioned to our viewers. Now, 11,650 is a very crucial level to break. And
Right.
after that, again on the next day, we saw a doji being created on the DT charts. So as of now, what has happened is, there was a huge fall just because of the news, and that wouldn't be a concrete reason that to ascertain that the market is immediately in a downtrend. So there are a few more points that we will, put forward to the viewers, and basis that we'll be able to determine where the markets want to move.
Right. And I think that is quite effective what you have said. So let's start. Let's get it started. So let me tell you what
Right.
I think about the markets going forward fundamentally. Then we can come to the
Okay.
technical side and discuss Bank Nifty, Nifty levels, and what stocks we can trade for tomorrow, which is Monday, October 19th. So
Right.
fundamentally, you see a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, if you see the weights of the stocks in Nifty, the top five stocks are Reliance, about 16% weightage, followed by HDFC Bank, Infosys, HDFC, and TCS. So these are the couple of guys which cover about 50% weight in Nifty. So for the markets going forward, we have to see what these five guys are doing. Last week we saw a very good correction in Reliance, and this is something we had given to our viewers and the mentorship clients also. Reliance has broken its crucial level.
Right.
It was trading between 2200 and 2300, and yesterday it broke all the levels and it's come back to the 2180. In fact, it's broken below that. I think this is particularly due to the government announcements where they advise the PSU banks and departments to opt for the BSNL and MTNL for the telecom operator rather than to go for the private players. And that actually led to the big fall in about 10% in the telecom sector per se. And we saw Airtel going to 400. So I think it's very important to see where Reliance is going, because technically I think it looks weak. What do you think about Reliance?
Yeah, Reliance has clearly given a breakdown. The levels were already given to the viewers. We have
Right,
clearly stated that 22 round 100 level was a very crucial level. And today, as of date, Reliance stands at 2175.
right,
A clear cut breakdown. And on the downside, if we talk about an intermediary level, I can expect Reliance to come anywhere around 2120 levels. And
perfect.
further down, a concrete support level will be 20, that is 2070 rupees. What are
2070,
your
60.
thoughts on
Yeah, I
that?
think that's the same, because it clearly has broken the trend line, the 6 month trend line, which Reliance was holding. So Reliance was holding Nifty for quite some time, and since it's broken that, it will try to maybe bounce off the support, and but it will take a lot of resistance from this trend line. So since the 2180 levels are also broken, we can expect movement, as you said, till 2070 and 20 and the levels of 2000 also are quite possible. So we'll have to see how
Right.
Reliance is performing. So I'll be looking for basically shorting Reliance. I'll be looking on the bearish side. So for tomorrow, I think 2170 levels, if they are broken on the downside, we can try to go short on the stock.
Right. I totally agree with you, Devang. But there's one point I would like to add in for the viewers' concern is that a safety point of view is that Reliance has already given back to back two big red candles,
Right.
and tomorrow don't just expect that Reliance will immediately fall down to 2070 rupees. Please note, viewers, that these levels are what we are looking at from this entire week
Positional
point of view,
basis,
and
yeah.
not from tomorrow's exact point of view.
Right. So that was
Right.
about
So
Reliance.
please
Yeah.
note, like Devang said, below 2170, you can look for a shorting opportunity in Reliance.
Right. So what do you think about HDFC Bank? I think you want to talk about that. We got stellar results, much better than the street expectations. What do you think can happen on the HDFC Bank front?
Fantastic results by HDFC Bank, and it is also expected that the results of other banking stocks will be, giving us stellar results. And on the daily charts, if you see, HDFC Bank has tested the support zone of 11,160,
Right.
and that level is also a Fibonacci level.
Okay.
And on your 16th of October, it has ended up creating a bullish Harami again. And tomorrow, looking at the results, it is very well expected that
Yeah. I think I've lost you. Can you
be
hear
a
me,
gap up
Himalay?
opening in HDFC Bank.
Right.
If there is a big gap up, then we will avoid taking positions.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, you're quite audible.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. Please continue.
Okay. So as I was saying, 1160 level is a Fibonacci level as well as a support level, and HDFC Bank did test that level, and on the next day, that is the 16th of October,
Right,
it
right,
ended up creating a bullish Harami pattern. Now,
right,
technically, we need a next day confirmation, and of course, looking at the results, I am expecting that tomorrow we should get a confirmation on HDFC Bank. But again, we should also, cover the concept of gap filling. If there is a very big gap up tomorrow, then I will, ask my viewers to wait a little. Don't immediately jump into the trade. Wait it
right.
out. Let the levels come to your favor, and probably then you can, take the stock, long the stock. And if you look at the RSI as well, RSI is also at its 58 level,
Right.
which is again a support level for HDFC Bank.
Perfect, perfect. So one thing out there is that after the IT companies posted their results, they were quite stellar, but we saw huge profit booking in the IT sector. So going forward, there are two schools of
Right.
thoughts. I would say, if HDFC Bank gives a gap up, it is obviously going to give a 200-300 point jump in Bank Nifty also, and also followed by Nifty about a 30-40 point jump in Nifty. So whether it gives I think gap up tomorrow is quite possible. And if it happens, what happens to the other players? Will the gap be filled or what? Also, it's possible that tomorrow markets don't open higher because things are already discounted and markets can go down also. So both these schools of thoughts are available, and we'll have to see whether HDFC Bank is doing what IT companies also have done, like Wipro, Mindtree fell down 20% from their highs.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you on that.
Right. So if HDFC Bank goes up, the other banks will participate. The NBFCs like HDFC will participate. So we can get a very good movement. Let's see what happens and where the market opens tomorrow. So that's about HDFC Bank. Another thing I want to talk about for the going forward week would be the IT companies. So the IT companies, the Nifty IT index over the last couple of months has gone up 100%, and that's the reason we actually saw a lot of profit booking in the IT companies. So is this profit booking going to continue, or will the IT companies take a U-turn from here? Because the big players like TCS, Infosys have a good weightage in Nifty, and where these companies are going, Nifty will also follow. So that's something also we should keep an eye on, right?
Absolutely. So yes, I feel that there is still a little bit of profit booking left in these companies, and Nifty will of course follow the trend on the downside. But I think that won't immediately happen tomorrow, because tomorrow what I feel is HDFC Bank and Dr. Reddy will be holding your Nifty, right? They won't let their Nifty fall, because on our Dr. Reddy's as well, we have got this positive development in the company, stating that they have got the approvals for the clinical trials of the COVID-19 vaccine
Right.
for the phase 2 and phase 3. So I think again that is a very big positive development in the company, and I think these two companies will be holding the Nifty, and we won't see an immediate fall. But yes, in the near future, I am expecting a fall in Nifty Bank.
Right. One thing I would like to mention to our viewers is that volatility going forward is going to increase. The reason I say this is the obvious facts are that we are getting the November to moratorium judgment and the November 3 US elections. And if you look at the data
Right.
in America, so if you look at the at the money S&P 500 options data, there is a 20% of December, sorry, there's a 20% increase in premium. So this tells us that the S&P 500 has the potential to go up 20% or go down 20%, depending on the state of the American economy. Also, currently in the global markets, a lot of confusion is there regarding the stimulus. So there are ongoing debates between, I would say negotiations between the Republicans and the Democrats. So whichever way that negotiations will go is going to also help the markets either to give a positive sentiment or negative sentiment. That is something everyone needs to watch going forward.
Absolutely. And I think talking about the US elections, Devang, we should definitely mention if Biden comes in power or if Trump comes in power, what will be the effect on the markets, right? Because what I feel is if Trump comes in power, then of course, no matter whoever comes in power, correction is bound. But if Trump comes in power, I feel that the correction won't be to a greater extent as compared to if Biden comes in power, because India already shares very good relations with Trump, and in the past few interviews
Right.
of Biden, there are a few statements which are not quite favorable for India. That is why I feel that if Trump comes in power, then that is slightly better than Biden coming in power.
So
What is your
I
thought on
think we
that?
should come to that later. It's a whole different topic. So let's stick to the markets right now. One thing, so every viewer should track is the S&P 500 volatility index, the VIX. So it is an agreed measure that if the S&P 500 VIX goes above 30, that will lead to a correction in the global markets. So that is something you have to watch. So keeping that aside, let's come back to Nifty and what we can expect in Nifty tomorrow. So Himalay, what do you think the markets in Nifty is going to do tomorrow?
Right. So I will see. I will be maintaining my stance on Nifty. In the previous TFA talks itself, I had mentioned that
Right.
my first target will be around 11,830, followed by a second target of 11,960 on the upside.
Okay.
And if the 11,650 level is broken on the downside, then the intermediary levels will be 11,550, followed by
Yeah.
11,540, 450, and finally a very strong level of 11,300. So
Right.
these are the three targets on the downside I'll be giving to our viewers for
Right.
Nifty.
So my view is also similar. Because we don't have to forecast the market, we have to play by the levels because we have to consider that market is always supreme and we can't outgo the market even if we do it one time in 10 times. So going forward, view is similar. Aggressive buying or aggressive selling will only come. So if you cross the 12,020 levels, it will lead to aggressive buying. Index will head higher. If you cross the to 11,660 levels, this will lead to aggressive selling because that's where the stop loss of the buyers is. So currently, I see it as an inside candle. So if you see 31st August, something like that has happened. You got a very big downfall, then some kind of inside candles consolidation, and then a big fall. So we have to see which way the markets are going because we have to understand if the markets want to go down. They will go down in the next couple of days. They will not wait to go all the way up to 12,000, then again fall. So sellers, if they are active, they will be active right now. If you look at the FII DI data, the FIIs and the pros, proprietary traders, they have reduced long exposure week on week. If you see Friday's data
Right.
of the 9th compared with yesterday, on last Friday, sorry, you can see reduced exposure on the long side. And what's actually quite impressive is how the proprietary traders, they have increased exposure in the index puts. They have gone crazy in the index put side. It's obvious the clients have increased long exposure. So the FI data is also quite negative. So I think some kind of consolidation should happen here. If you're trading in the index, I would say reduce your normal quantity size and go aggressive only when these levels are broken.
Right. And will you suggest, our viewers buying, if they are on the short side, will you suggest the viewers buying puts of October expiry or puts of the November
See,
expiry?
obviously in the October expiry, we have the time. We have only about nine trading
The
sessions
time
left. So this will lead to some kind of decay if market moves sideways. So I think the next 2-3 days markets can move sideways. Also, it's an accepted fact that if markets open gap up on Mondays, they do a big red fall. So I don't know where the markets are headed, but it would be safer to go for November expiries, considering that when volatility increases, markets will. I think markets will try to come to 11,200 in the coming days. I think that will be a big possibility in November 1st to 2nd week. So November expiry would be a good option to go. October expiry, don't go too out the money. Try to play a little bit close by. That's what I can suggest to you.
Absolutely. I think I agree with you. All
Right.
right.
So
So let's talk a bit on the internals as well, since you opened the charts.
right, sure, sure. So
All
that's
right.
what the internals look like. Yeah.
Absolutely. One key point I'd like to mention to our viewers is on the 15th of October around 2 p.m., till the 16th of October, there is a positive divergence on your RSI.
Mhm.
And that is what had continued on your 16th of October. And finally, it ended up creating a rising wedge on the 15-minute chart.
Right.
So, I'm looking for a break on either side. Ideally, it should be a breakdown, but you never know in the current market situation what can happen. And if there is a breakdown, maybe you'd like to share the targets with the client,
Yeah, I
basis
think
the technicals.
11,550 is a perfect target because that comes up to a 38.2% level on Fibonacci also. And it's an accepted fact that
Right.
whenever markets rally, they have to correct 30% on either side. 30% is a minimum, and 50% or 61.8% can be a deep retracement. So 38.2% Fibonacci retracement is at 11,550. That is also the previous resistance. So I think that level should come in this week minimum.
Also, to add in one point over here, if you look at the dollar currency index,
Yeah.
that is also at a support level, which is again something which is a positive news for us bears in the market who are currently bears in the market. And it's at a support level. If the dollar goes up, there's again an additional good point
Yeah.
that the markets can fall down.
Above 94 can be very detrimental. So the S&P 500 VIX above 30, dollar above 94 will lead to 11,200 for sure. I think that's a good
Right.
way to go about it. So let's talk about Bank Nifty now. Obviously, it's going to be affected by the HDFC Bank results tomorrow. I do expect it to open higher to 300 points. But what do you think about Bank Nifty?
See, Bank Nifty is around, it's not exactly at its Fibonacci level, but around its Fibonacci level currently.
Right.
That, and it's created again a bullish Harami pattern over here as well. So
I think I've lost you again, Himalaya. There's some connectivity issue. Can you hear me?
am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So I'll just repeat myself.
Right.
On Bank Nifty, like I was saying, see, Bank Nifty is not exact. It hasn't taken support exactly at the Fibonacci level, but around its Fibonacci level. And like I keep mentioning our viewers that a small deviation is acceptable. So it took a support at your Fibonacci level, that is your 23.6 levels. And from there, it created a bullish Harami pattern as well. And
Right.
tomorrow is the confirmation day for your Bank Nifty. So
Right.
if there is a confirmation and the bulls have been established tomorrow as well, then you can expect a first target of 23,800. 23,800 is a very crucial level on Bank Nifty.
Right.
And above that, you can expect a level of 24,000 as well.
Yeah,
So
so we saw some kind of
don't look for
consolidation.
shorting
Yeah,
any, right. So don't look for shorting any banking stocks or any financial stocks as of now. I think, even though it may show that it has given a breakdown or whatever, but please always look at the sector as well. That is what I would like to add in over here.
yeah, 2300 looks like a very good resistance. Going above that can give you 24 and 24,200 also. And
Right.
obviously, on the downside, if you go below the Thursday low, that will lead to aggressive selling. So again, if you're trading in the index, our suggestion would be to reduce the quantity because we are in some kind of consolidation zone as long as we are inside that red bar that you are seeing. So above 24,200 and below 23,000, you will see aggressive movements. So keep that in mind going forward. Yeah.
Right. And now, since we are done with the index, would you like to cover a few stocks as well?
Right. So Reliance is one stock we've already talked about along with HDFC. So we'll have to see where they open, which will lead to a good movement in the markets. I think ITC is a very good play at these levels. My view would be a positional view, not something for an intraday or a short-term view. On intraday basis, can give some movement. So ITC has corrected quite a lot now from 205 levels all the way to 165. And this 165 level is a good intermediary support. And the support below this would come to around 155 followed by 140. These are 3-4 good levels of ITC. And if you look at the charts of ITC, we are seeing some kind of positive divergence on the RSI. The price is falling down,
Right. Right.
but some kind of intelligent money is coming into the market. So I think if above 167 or 168, if ITC starts trading there, that can be a good positional buy. Even for long-term basis, I would suggest try to buy in tranches. It's a must-have for your portfolios. So if you, for example, want to spend 100,000 in ITC, keep, let's say you can buy 30,000 tomorrow, 20,000 later, and if it sustains, then keep on buying the rest. So that's a good positional stock I'll be personally looking at, will be ITC.
Is absolutely, ITC does look very interesting to me as well. And as you rightly spotted that there's a positive divergence on ITC. Now,
Right.
just one additional point over here is that the doji has already been created, right? And tomorrow we need a buyer's confirmation in the market with good volumes. Once that's established,
It'll be a
you're
wonderful buy.
very well said that it will be a wonderful bet.
Right.
So looking forward for this what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, I think another great trade could be Grasim on an intraday basis. Grasim can give you a good momentum. It's in an upward channel for a very long time. So the trend is up. So I would like to chase the trend, obviously. And it has given a good breakout on the trend. So let me just hide my tools. So it has given a good breakout to yesterday on Friday. So to tomorrow, if it starts to sustain above 777 levels, so maybe a 780, it can give you a good momentum on the upside. And the higher targets would come around 800 and 800 levels, followed by 820 also, 827. These levels can come even on positional basis, but even for an intraday trade, I would like to look for Grasim on the long side if the index sustains. Yeah.
Right. I agree with you on Grasim. I don't have anything else to add on Grasim. However, I want you to review PI industry, something that you have already mentioned to our mentorship clients,
Right.
and you have
So
given an early bird entry to them.
yeah, so so if you are in the mentorship forum, you know what we have been talking about. So PI Industries had a very crucial, even in our TFA Talks episode, I had discussed this a couple of sessions back, and I told you it's a must buy. So what was happening in PI was we got a very good build up being formed. So if you see this
Right.
level of 2160, it was a very good resistance and a build up was being formed. And yesterday it's given a breakout. Even RSI is about 60, so we have a good room left. So my target for PI Industries going forward, it's a must buy. The sector is in focus. My targets would be a 150-point movement. So I'll expect a 20 to 50 target. It looks unrealistic, but I will be going for this target in the coming session. So I'll look for PI on the long side. It would be suggested to add in your portfolios for short-term basis.
Absolutely. Agreed with you.
Right.
All right. What I wanted to cover was, Bharti Airtel.
Sure.
Airtel is at a very crucial level, and that is its 400 round number support level. And the interesting thing on Airtel is even Airtel has created a strong positive divergence.
Right.
However, again, it has created a doji, and again, I want a buyer's confirmation tomorrow with good volumes. And if
Mhm.
that happens, then again, Airtel is something which can shoot up within a short period of time. Already, this telecom sector is in focus. Now,
Right.
though
Right. Right.
there's been data that Geo has been taking over more customers, but still, I think Airtel is a strong competition to Geo. Vodafone is nowhere in comparison to these two. So let's not be talking about Vodafone, but Airtel is something which again you can add from a short-term perspective,
Right.
provided the bulls have been established tomorrow.
Yeah, so 400 is a good level. As you said, it's a long-term support. We did get a rounded top, which led to the fall. You are oversold on the RSI, 400 support. So you can keep a 10, 15 point stop loss on a long-term basis and try to play it. If the SL is it, I would say exit. But this could be a multi-bagger at these levels. And let's see what happens, going forward. So any other stocks that you would like to cover?
Yeah, I would briefly like to cover Dr. Reddy's as well.
Right, right,
Dr. Reddy's is also at a very good support level around its 5,000 levels, and again I think it is a very good buy at this level. And looking at the positive development in this company, I feel that you should add the stock, but not at the exact current level. I will say to buy the stock above 5,150 levels to be on
right.
the safer side, right? I want to break, at least the previous session's open price, if not the high exactly. So let's play it out a little conservative. Don't just simply jump into the stocks.
Sure.
That is my view on Dr. Reddy's. You can have a first target of 5,340 levels. Around
Perfect.
that levels is your first target on Dr.
Right. 533 on. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, I think. Do you have any other stocks you want to talk about, Himalay?
Not really. I think, I just want to to put in Titan. Right now,
Mhm.
Titan, I wouldn't suggest you to trade in Titan. I have my levels, but I won't add in the levels for today. But I would just want to, mention one news that there has been a 57% drop in the gold imports
Right,
for
right.
this uh, fiscal period. And the demand is also not there for the gold, despite the Diwali season, despite the festive season. Uh, Demand is not there as people were expecting. So keep this company on your watch list. We will be covering it once we see a much more clearer picture on this, and then we'll give you the levels of what can happen in Titan.
Perfect. So I think that's it for now, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you tomorrow in the episode of TFA Talks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, and please note that all these analysis is just for your